Wait, what do you mean by that? James was taken aback by the revelation. Huh. Emperor was also surprised by his reaction and immediately answered, "It seems you don't even know this much." "I don't, so tell me about it." "It's a secret. It's better to let sleeping dogs lie. Nothing good will come out of having this information." Thomas had decided to leave the Cadence and is no longer part of the four great families, thus you're no longer a member of the Cadence. It'd be good if you don't involve yourself any further in these matters. James glared at Emperor. Although Emperor was not the one responsible for the Cadence demise, he definitely held no small amount of insider information. James glared venomously, and in the next moment, he struck. He leaned close to Emperor, and his silver needle touched the carotid artery on his neck. The color in the Emperor's face drained at the threat. "What are you trying to do, James? Kill me? Do you think you'll be able to leave this place alive if you kill me?" Emperor scoffed indifferently. "Talk. What are the details?" "HMPH, if you're so curious, why don't you find out yourself?" Emperor continued to reply vaguely. James let the silver needle pierce his skin. Pain spread from the Emperor's neck. "Try and see if you can leave this place alive after killing me. Do you really think I don't have the guts to do it?" Ads by Pub Future. James was boiling with murderous rage. Even though Emperor had nothing to do with the demise of the Cadence, he was definitely a wealth of information and was likely the mastermind behind everything. However, killing Emperor would mean one less source of information for James, which would make matters even more challenging to investigate. James put away the silver needle. "I hope the demise of my family had nothing to do with you. If I find out that you are involved in it, I will make sure to kill you even if you're the leader of the 5 commanders." James left the threat hanging over the Emperor and turned to leave. Large beads of sweat dotted the Emperor's forehead, rolling down his face and drenching his clothes after James left. James left Emperor's mansion and went directly to Peace Mansion to look for the Supreme Commander. However, the Supreme Commander was unavailable as he was visiting other countries abroad. The Secretary General received him. This person stood at the pinnacle of power, and his status was not inferior to the 5 commanders. "Mr. Hayes, when will the Supreme Commander be back?" The man he addressed was Hogan Hayes. He was the secretary of the Supreme Commander and a figure that had significant influence in the capital. "Black Dragon, the Supreme Commander's schedule is full this month, and I'm afraid he won't be returning to the capital for the time being." "Why hasn't my resignation application been approved?" asked James. "This shouldn't be a childish decision, General. I've kept the resignation application with me and haven't handed it over to the Supreme Commander. I wanted to give you a chance to change your mind. The Southern Plains need you. The thousands of people in Seoul also need you. I hope the application will be approved by tomorrow." James said what he had to say, stood up, and left. Hogan watched him leave. It was not until he left then did a man in his 50s walk out from another door. He was a slightly chubby man dressed in a grey suit with a neat hairstyle and looked full of vigor. "Sir," Hogan called out. "It seems Black Dragon really is intent on resigning. Sir, I didn't expect him to come to the capital himself. What should we do?" The Supreme Commander went silent for a while. Then, he said, "Approve it. Issue an announcement tomorrow to inform the public." Hearing this, Hogan's expression changed. "Sir, you have to reconsider this. This isn't just some minor issue. Black Dragon's resignation will cause a public uproar, and the Southern Plains might go into a state of emergency. I've been waiting for Black Dragon to come to the capital. Since he's finally here, he must have uncovered some information and came here to follow up on his leads. The forces in the capital are in too much of a mess. The government and opposition are divided into their insular factions. It's time we clean it up." "All right, I understand." Hogan did not say anything else. He turned to leave and went directly to Emperor's mansion. Emperor's mansion. A secret room. The commander has approved it. I'll be making an announcement tomorrow that the Black Dragon will be resigning. Hearing this, Emperor furrowed his brows. He clenched his fists and said expectantly, "Finally. Let's see how you'll go against me now, Black Dragon." Meanwhile, James walked out of the secret room with a smirk. James boarded the private plane back to Kensington that night. It was already midnight when he arrived at Thea's house. Fortunately, he had brought the house keys with him today. He quietly entered the house. As soon as he entered the room, the lights flipped on immediately. James was startled and glanced at Thea, who was sitting on the bed with a stern expression. He awkwardly scratched his head and asked, "You're still awake, darling? Look at the time. Where did you go?" Thea's displeasure was written clearly on her face. James immediately came up with an excuse and hurriedly replied, "I was at the company. I'm late because the company is still trying to improve various systems and we had a meeting tonight. I'm sorry. I'll let you know next time I work overtime." Thea's anger was slightly assuaged. "James, yeah, never mind. It's nothing." Thea turned around and went back to bed. She wanted to bring up the divorce but did not know where to start. Ever since she met the mysterious Mr. Caden, his words had been on her mind all night. Throughout the night, she thought about divorcing her James to marry the other James. However, she was thankful for her James' kindness toward her. Ads by Pub Future. Without him, she would not have recovered her appearance. James knew what was on her mind. Despite that, he did not press her further. He simply lay down and slept beside Thea. The night passed silently. The next day, Thea left for work early in the morning. James woke up after 9 o'clock. He walked out of the room. Living room. Gladys, Benjamin, David, and Alyssa were gathered together, looking at their phone screens seriously. "What's the matter? What are you guys looking at?" James walked out and asked out of curiosity. "The Black Dragon has resigned." David raised his head and replied, "General of the Southern Plains, one of the 5 commanders of Saul, the Black Dragon, has resigned. From now on, Saul will no longer have a Black Dragon. The 5 commanders will become the 4 commanders." "Oh," James murmured. News of the Black Dragon's resignation had spread like wildfire throughout the country just that morning. Major television channels and news platforms covered the shocking announcement. Good morning, viewer. This is Saul's news channel. Today at 8 in the morning, our country's Supreme Commander has called for a meeting to discuss the resignation of the General of the Southern Plains, the Black Dragon. From today onwards, the position of the Black Dragon of the Southern Plains will cease to exist. The news swept the entire network. Instantly, it became a sensational topic online. The top 10 trending posts on social media were all about the Black Dragon. Why did the Black Dragon resign? Why would they approve the Black Dragon's resignation? The conspiracy behind the Black Dragon's resignation. The legendary story of the Black Dragon. Various topics surrounding the legendary Black Dragon were popping up one after another. The Black Dragon's resignation threw everyone for a loop. There was longer a Black Dragon in Saul. There was no longer a legend within the military. Many citizens begged and pleaded for the Black Dragon to return. Pacific Group. Thea was in the office processing some documents when the news came up on her computer screen. She sat in her chair dumbfounded as she read the article. Black Dragon resigned. She was shocked and it took her a while before she could gather her thoughts again. What's going on? Everything was fine, so why did the Black Dragon have to resign? What exactly happened here? Had she not personally known the Black Dragon, the news would have meant nothing to her since they both were part of very different worlds. Nevertheless, she knew the identity of the Black Dragon. He was the mysterious Mr. Caden. The news of the Black Dragon's resignation spread all over the country. At the same time, a different scandal making its way across Kensington. This scandal was related to Thea. Some videos and photos surfaced on the internet. The footage featured Thea and an extraordinarily handsome man getting on a Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost. This scandal was a trifling matter next to the Black Dragon's resignation. More news made its rounds. Unbelievable news. The mysterious chairman of Majestic Corporation is James, who also held the position of the Black Dragon. This James isn't Thea's husband but the man in the videos with Thea. That's shocking. The Black Dragon has been in Kensington secretly helping Thea. It's no wonder so many prominent figures were currying favor with Thea. Turns out the person she saved 10 years ago was the Black Dragon. Is that the real face of the Black Dragon? He's so handsome. James was blindsided by the new hot topic of discussion. Those who were dying to figure out the Black Dragon's appearance were finally able to see his true face. Ads by Pub Future. Thea's show is shameless. She already has a husband, so why is she playing with my Black Dragon? The Black Dragon is mine. FCK off, Thea. A barrage of insults and sardonic comments targeting Thea also appeared on the internet from fangirls and admirers of the Black Dragon. Thea faced massive backlash on the internet. Some people even went so far as to surround the Pacific Group. These women had bottles of sulfuric acid in tow along with threats to disfigure Thea's face. Eventually, the military came forward to suppress the crazed fanatics. All these startling revelations had thrown everyone outside into a chaotic uproar. Meanwhile, James was in common clinic. James, what did you say to the Supreme Commander? Why did they suddenly announce your resignation? Why did they have to announce it so publicly that everyone in the country would know about it? Henry eyed James suspiciously. Whitney sat aside. Although she knew James was someone influential from the Southern Plains, she never expected him to be such a prominent figure. He was the general of the Southern Plains, the military god of Saul. It was already an inevitable fact that I was going to resign. I submitted my resignation application a few months ago. For one of the 5 commanders to resign, of course, it'd make it to the news. It's only normal for something so major to be announced through the media. James stretched his arms and counted calmly. I finally resigned and have been liberated from all those cumbersome burdens. I'm finally free to do anything. Suddenly, a rough-looking man with a stony face and thick eyebrows walked inside the clinic. The Blight King. He was not dressed in his military uniform. Instead, he wore very ordinary clothing. Whitney stood up nervously after seeing the incoming guest. The Blight King, one of the 5 commanders, the Blight King is here. She did not feel a lick of nervousness around James despite his identity as the Black Dragon being revealed. However, seeing another one of the 5 commanders put her on edge for some reason. James, what are you doing? Everything was going well, so why did you resign? The Blight King walked in with a stern expression and asked tensely. I submitted the resignation application long ago but it never got approved. What's so strange about it finally getting approved? James lazily replied. The Blight King narrowed his eyes doubtfully. James, tell me the truth. Did something happen? You are the general of the Southern Plains. You are in control of the dragon army of millions of soldiers. You are the military god. The belief of the soldiers rests upon your shoulders and it should have been impossible for them to approve your resignation. The Blight King sat down and continued to needle James for proper answers. The Blight King was sensible and strong since he was one of the 5 commanders. He had a feeling that something major was about to take place. James smiled lightly and said nothing. Instead, he stood up, tapped the Blight King's shoulder, and walked out of the common clinic. Blight King, I really like you. You are old-fashioned, but your loyalty is commendable. I never understood why the higher-ups wanted to establish the 5 military regions. I thought it was because they wanted to transfer me to Kensington since they knew I was here. However, they transferred you here instead. I just realized the higher-ups have their own plans. The Blight King was stunned. Do what you need to do. I'll ask you for help if I need it. By the way, pretend you never came to see me today and take that secret to your grave. You should go. Meanwhile, I'm going back to being James, the useless son-in-law of the Callahans. The Black Dragon's resignation. The identity of the mysterious man backing Thea was exposed. The series of shocking news coming one after the other took the world by storm. In stark contrast to the chaos outside, James had attained the peaceful life of a homemaker as he wished. In the days that followed, Thea's routine consisted of her leaving the house early in the morning and returning home as late as possible. Even after the internet exposed her close relationship with the Black Dragon, her life seemed to continue on mostly as normal. Meanwhile, James found a few books about human meridians, acupuncture points, and an introduction to medicine for Thea to learn from. After teaching her the fundamentals, he could pass on some medical skills to her so she would seem more well prepared at the medical conference. After Thea had finished dealing with the company's affair, she buried her head in her books and studied diligently. 5 days passed in the blink of an eye. Since her last meeting with the mysterious Mr. Caden, Thea had not seen him again. She had texted him but never once received a reply. After the Callahans had discovered the person Thea saved was the Black Dragon all along, they instantly tried to curry favor with her and invite her back to Eternality. Despite the fact that he had resigned, he was still a former member of the 5 Commanders, meaning he had vast connections. Thea refused. She was currently in charge of Pacific Group, so she was not obligated to comply with the Clahence's demands. After finding out that Thea's card had more than $2 billion in it, David and Alyssa tried everything they could to find out her password. After several days of planning, they finally came up with a way to obtain it. At night, during dinner, Thea was studying in her room and was focused on reading the books on medicine. Ads by Pub Future. Alyssa walked into the room with her phone. Thea, yeah, what's the matter? Thea put down the book and asked quizzically. Alyssa approached with her phone and said, I need to buy something online but my cards run out of money. Could you help me pay for it, Thea? Thea glanced at Alyssa's phone screen and saw that the item in question was only a little over $2,000. She nodded and replied, all right. Choose to ask a friend to pay, and I'll make the payment for you. Alyssa followed her instructions. After she had done so, Thea then made the payment for her. During this period, Alyssa stared raptly as Thea entered her online shopping password. In the days that led up to this, she had discussed with David and consulted many psychology experts. Psychology experts pointed out that, under normal circumstances, a person's bank card password and the online banking payment password would usually be the same because it was worry-free, simple, and easy to remember. Thanks, Thea. Alyssa flashed a bright smile after she had memorized Thea's password. Thea returned her smile, picked up her book, and continued studying. Alyssa walked out and returned to her room. David anxiously asked her as soon as she walked into the room, how did it go, darling? Alyssa made an okay gesture with her hands and smugly grinned. I got her password. All we have to do now is steal her card and see if her password for her online payment is the same as her bank card password. We'll go according to the plan. I'll find an opportunity to distract both James and Thea while you go steal the card. All right. David nodded. The two reconfirmed and smoothed out the plan's details. Ready to set her plan in motion, Alyssa walked out of the room again and knocked on Thea's door. Thea, let's go for a walk around the community. James answered the door and said, Thea is studying and can't go right now. Can't you go by yourself? What do you mean, James? Thea has been working hard in the company this whole time. Besides, she's off work right now. She should go out for a walk. Otherwise, her body won't be able to handle all the stress the studying is putting on her. Alyssa chided James and forced her way into the room. Then, she pulled Thea out of the room. Thea, let's go stretch your legs. You can continue studying later. Thea had been reading for a long period of time and was indeed a little dizzy. Honey, let's go for a walk. I'm a little lightheaded and need some air to clear my head. All right. Since Thea agreed, James had no reason to turn down the idea. The three left together. Gladys and Benjamin had gone out for dinner, so no one else was home. After the three walked out of the door, David cautiously slipped into Thea's room. He saw a wallet on the desk. He opened it and saw an array of cards inside. David had seen the card number that was given to Thea by Richard in North Kensington. Consequently, he knew exactly which card he was looking for. He took it out quietly and stealthily returned to his room. His heart was beating like a drum after returning to his room. This whole plan was nerve-wracking. He took a few deep breaths in an effort to calm down. Then, he sent Alyssa a message. I've got it. I'll head out now to a bank to try out the password. Keep them busy a little longer, and don't let Thea return home anytime soon. After sending the message, David quickly left the house. He arrived at the nearest ATM, inserted Thea's card, and entered the password. His hands trembled as he punched the numbers in. Please be right, please be right. He closed his eyes and prayed desperately. After a few seconds, he opened his eyes. Seeing the ATM interface, he was so overwhelmed with excitement that he almost exclaimed out loud. Quickly maneuvering the interface, he tapped button after button and selected the option to check the bank balance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He counted the number of zeros in the bank balance and almost gasped giddily. After he had confirmed the amount in Thea's balance, he quickly pulled out the card. Carefully putting away the card, he walked away from the ATM and lit up a cigarette. The cigarette seemed to do wonders for his frazzled nerves and he felt way calmer after he finished smoking. Then, he sent a message to Alyssa. Darling, I am ready to transfer the money to my card. There will be a message notification for the transfer. You'll need to think of a way to take Tia's phone so that she isn't able to check her messages. Quickly delete the message when you see it. I'll be waiting for your reply when you're done, he texted. Okay, Alyssa replied. At that point, the three were making their way around the community. Tia, ads by PubFuture. Could I borrow your phone to take a few pictures? Your phone has a better camera than mine, lied Alyssa. She pointed not far away and explained, the scenery over there looks nice. I'll go over there and take a few pictures, so I don't disturb you and James. She quickly ran away after saying that. At the same time, she hurriedly took out her phone and sent David a message. I've got her phone. Hurry up. David immediately rushed to the ATM and worked on transferring the funds to his account. He hesitated for a brief moment when it came time to key in the transfer amount. He had an internal tug of war about whether to transfer all of the money or just a portion. Obviously, he wanted to transfer everything to his account. However, he was not that brave. After deliberating a little more, he transferred $500 million. Under normal circumstances, the alarmingly large transfer amount would need to be reviewed by the bank. Fortunately for David, Tia had a special status and was the Black Dragon's wife. As such, the relevant departments had done away with these tedious procedures long ago. No matter how much money she transferred, it would be promptly reviewed and the transfer approved within seconds. David took a long sigh of relief after seeing that the transfer was successful. He quickly retrieved the card. Soon, he received a message notification. That's fast. He let out another sigh of relief. In the past, it would have taken 2 hours for him to transfer a small amount of money. In comparison to the present where it took only a few seconds to transfer several $100 million. Alyssa took out Tia's phone and pretended to take a selfie. When she saw the bank's notification message, she quickly deleted it. After taking a few real selfies, she went back to James and Tia. Tia, here's your phone back. The camera takes such clear photos. I have to buy the same model. Tia smiled. Afterward, Alyssa took out her own phone and messaged David. Done. Bring the card back quickly and return it before Tia comes back, she texted. There was no need for Alyssa to remind him as David was already running as fast as he could back home the moment he received the money. He returned home and returned the card back to its place. After finishing everything, he returned to his room and jumped around happily. 500 million. Haha, 500 million is mine. I'm filthy, stinking rich. I've made a fortune this time. His excitement made him incoherent. He was already thinking about how he would spend the large sum of money. He wanted girls at his beck and call, not just regular girls but young models and celebrities. He wanted a dozen of them. Every day, he could be with a different girl and he could cater to all his tastes. Not long later, Tia and the others returned home. Alyssa returned to the room, closed the door, and questioned him eagerly, "How did it go, babe?" David replied with a beam smugly. It was a success. He took out his phone, logged into his online banking account, and checked the balance. Then, he said proudly, "Darling, I'll transfer $10 million to you first. Isn't your brother's wife getting married soon? You should bring it home and spend a few million on your family." David wanted to get rid of Alyssa temporarily so he could go out and indulge himself. "I love you so much, babe." Meanwhile, Tia was still unaware that $500 million had been deducted from the $2 billion she had on her card. The next day, Tia got up early. She stood in front of the mirror and styled her hair. While doing her hair, she spoke to James, who was still in bed. "Honey, since Pacific Group is back on track now, I think now's a good time to change its name. I'm planning to rename it Century Group. What do you think?" James glanced at Tia from behind. He smiled as if admiring a beautiful artwork and replied, "Sounds good, hun. It's settled then. I'll arrange for the company name to change at noon. Today will be the founding day of the Century Group. I've sent invitations to some prominent figures to attend the founding ceremony of the Century Group." Originally, Tia had not intended to tell James about this decision. However, the Pacific Group was bought with his money. Now that she wanted to change the name, she had to at least inform him. "Do you need me to contact some people to show up for support?" asked James. Ads by PubFuture. James knew it was important to invite more people to the company's establishment ceremony as it would be a display of the company's strong business connections. It was one way of ensuring the company would have a great start and a bright future ahead of it. Without anyone, the company would just be seen as a laughing stock. It's fine. That's unnecessary. I've already invited a lot of people, including Yuna from Longevity Pharmaceuticals, Alex from Celestial Group, and many other influential business magnates. Thea shook her head slightly as she gently refused. She knew that James was working with the transgenerational group, but a mere salesman like him would scarcely know anyone of importance. All right. James did not press further. He rolled off the bed, got up, and got dressed. I'll come with you. Tea that won't be needed. You're working for the transgenerational group right now. It doesn't look good on you if you take leave barely after starting work. James looked away in awkward silence. What work? His job was a nominal position, and he had never been to transgeneration group for work. Thea refused to budge on the matter, so he stayed in the comfort of his own home. His laziness appreciated the decision to not go out. The reason Thea refused to let James attend the ceremony was that she had invited Mr. Caden of the Majestic Corporation. Having said that, Mr. Caden had not replied to her invitation nor had he stated whether he would be joining the establishment ceremony of Century Group. It would have been awkward if her husband were there with him also present. So she had to find a way to keep James from going. After Thea finished getting ready, she left the house. James also went out right after. He did not follow Thea and instead went to the Majestic Corporation. Majestic Corporation, Chairman's office. Chairman, Newton greeted respectfully. James sat across the office chair, crossed his legs, and asked, "Did Thea get someone to send an invitation?" "Yeah." Newton nodded and said, "I thought you already knew about it, so I didn't think to inform you, sir. News about you was all over the media, and I didn't want to disturb you." James opened the drawer and took out the phone inside. Since the last time he saw Thea with his other appearance, he had kept this phone locked in the drawer and never used it again. Unsurprisingly, the battery was flat. He charged for a while and turned it on. It was full of messages from Thea. Most were simple greetings, while some were inquiries. "Mr. Caden, I've decided to change the name of Pacific Group. What do you think is a suitable name?" "Mr. Caden, what do you think about Century Group?" "Mr. Caden, Pacific Group will officially be renamed Century Group tomorrow around noon. Would you be available to come to our establishment ceremony?" James read through the messages. He rested his fingers on his nose pensively. Thea had not discussed the name change with him and only informed him about it in the morning. Yet, here she was asking for the opinion of Mr. Caden of the Majestic Corporation. Despite the two having a happy marriage at home, treating each other with respect, and living harmoniously, Thea had never told him about anything regarding work. James casually threw the phone on the table. Newton stood aside and inquired, "Will you be going, Mr. Caden? You've resigned as the Black Dragon, but everyone already knows your identity as the chairman of Majestic Corporation. It's also public knowledge that you're the person helping Thea from behind the scenes. Not to mention the rumors about you." Newton hesitated. "Go ahead if you've got something to say," snapped James. Newton hesitated for a moment before explaining himself. "Various companies have been putting pressure on the Majestic Corporation in the past few days. I've even received news that the Great Four are no longer afraid of you since you've resigned and they are in the midst of planning for a forceful takeover of the corporation." "Oh, is that so?" James squinted his eyes in irritation. Ads by Pub Future. Do the Great Four think they can get away with this just because he resigned? Newton nodded and continued hesitantly, "Also, I've one more thing to tell you." "Go ahead." "I've heard rumors that several big families in the capital have united in order to build a new city outside of Kensington. They are planning to create a new city that will surpass Transgenerational New City," said Newton. "Several big families want to build a new city." James furrowed his brows. "Yes, this information was released after your resignation. Rumors are that each major family will be investing $500 billion, and they will have a capital of $2 trillion to build a new city within the shortest possible time frame. Their purpose is to exceed the Transgenerational New City. Which families are involved?" asked James in a steely tone. I don't know yet. There has been no further news on any specifics of this plan. Newton shook his head. James tapped his fingers on the table lightly. So many things happened as soon as he resigned. It seemed that many forces were mobilizing in Kensington. Surprisingly, he was not concerned. The more chaotic things got, the better. It would be best for all those influential and prominent figures to show themselves. It was the perfect bait to draw out all the prominent and influential people behind the scenes. Prepare the car. We are going to attend the opening ceremony of Thea's Century Group. All right. Newton immediately made preparations. Concurrently, at the Callahans, all the Callahan members were gathering. Tommy glanced at Lex smoking his tobacco and asked, Grandpa, should we go to Century Group? Lex remained silent. Howard immediately butted in. Dad, the Black Dragon has resigned, and as a result, Thea now has no benefactor. Now that he has resigned, people will definitely seek him out for vengeance. We shouldn't get involved in this mess. Tommy nodded in agreement. That's right. Thea had offended plenty of huge families in the past. 3 of the Great Four have more power than the Majestic Corporation. Any one of them could easily get rid of his Majestic Corporation and completely annihilate the Cadence once and for all. Lex continued to smoke his tobacco and inquired languidly, how is the collaboration between Longevity Pharmaceuticals and Celestial Group? Tang Tianlong smoked a dry cigarette and asked, by the way, how is the partnership between Yongle, Qianjun, and Changsheng Pharmaceutical? John, the current person in charge of Eternality, replied, the partnership originally ran smoothly. However, as of late, the 2 of them are seemingly trying to distance themselves from Eternality. Our current stock should last a few months, but the 2 major clients are no longer fulfilling any more orders. These major corporations think that the Black Dragon has lost his power after his resignation, Lex murmured. Even so, we'll still have to go. After all, Thea is a Callahan. Even if we can't curry favor with other major groups, we can still rely on her relationships with the Majestic Corporation to help Eternality, said Lex. Tommy then posed a question, Grandpa, I heard Thea invited many influential people. Since the Black Dragon has resigned, would these people still come to the establishment ceremony in respect to him? We'll find out when we get there. Kensington is slowly descending into further chaos. We'll have to seize the opportunity and choose our side carefully. The right people will help us rise to the top. If we choose wrongly, we'll be done for, said Lex. The Pacific Group headquarters was not far from the industrial area. Initially, the Pacific Group was just a manufacturing factory, and the headquarters was a simple 4-story building near their factory and not centered around town. According to Thea's plan, the Pacific Group will continue to expand and aim to build a new office building in transgenerational New City after its name change. 10 in the morning. Century Group headquarters. The headquarters was a 4-story building. Outside the building was an open space with tables. Many Century Group employees were busy making preparations. A red banner hung grandly at the top of the building. Century Group's establishment ceremony. A stage was set up outside the building, and many seats were set in front of it. Thea, it's already 10. Why hasn't anyone arrived yet? Larry was nervous, seeing that the venue remained empty. He turned to Thea and nervously suggested, why don't you call to ask? Larry was standing on pins and needles. He heard some rumors in the past few days. He knew that the person backing Thea was the general of the Southern Plains, the Black Dragon. Adds by Pub Future. However, after his resignation, he was no longer one of the 5 commanders. The Black Dragon's main connections were in the Southern Plains. As they were mainly based in Kensington, his resignation should have served to effectively sever all his connections to the place. Thea grimaced when she saw that no one was coming. She had sent out plenty of invitations to bosses of major companies. The place should have been full of people by now if everything went smoothly. However, not one person has yet shown up. A couple of employees stood together in a loose huddle and speculated quietly. The Century Group doesn't seem to have a bright future. Yeah, in the past, the mysterious Mr. Caden, the Black Dragon, was the one who supported Thea. All those major companies had no choice but to entertain him. These bosses feel like they don't owe him any respect now that he has resigned and doesn't hold the position of Black Dragon anymore. I heard that the chairman of Majestic Corporation, James Caden, is also in trouble right now. Is that so? What kind of trouble? Do you remember the Great Four of Kensington? They were quite low-key for a while because of the Black Dragon. Now that he's resigned from his post, the Great Four have united to form the Oceanic Commerce to go against James. He is no longer the general of the Southern Plains. What can he do to go against the Great Four now? Many employees gathered together and discussed secretively. Although these were merely rumors, they had already spread widely throughout Kensington. Thea glanced at the time. There were still 2 more hours before the ribbon-cutting ceremony. Let's wait a bit more. There's still some time. Sigh. Larry let out a helpless sigh. Someone's here. There's a car coming. It's a Bentley. It must be someone important. The previously still atmosphere suddenly became more animated. Everyone heard the hum of the engine and saw the Bentley approaching, followed by several $1 million luxury cars. 7 to 8 cars stopped in the parking space. Lex was the first to get out of the car. The other Callahan members followed behind him. Thea greeted them with a smile. Greetings, Grandpa, and all my uncles. So glad to have you join us today. Please take a seat. Lex looked to the front and found that no other guests were present except for them. He could not help but frown in disappointment. Thea, I thought you were going to have a grand ceremony with countless prominent figures here to support the establishment ceremony of Century Group. Who'd have thought that no one would show up? What happened? Did your strong backing crumble? Mocked Tommy mercilessly. The other Callahans laughed at the cruel comment. Haha, looks like you got what was coming for you. You left Eternality for the Pacific Group, and now your decisions come back to bite you. The Black Dragon made enemies out of many people. He lost his power when he resigned. No one's going to give you the time of the day without him. I'll give it 2 months before Thea's company folds. Hearing the Callahans callously heckle her, Thea could not help but feel discouraged. She extended them an invitation to the establishment ceremony as a kind gesture, but was repaid with their heartless jeers. Stop this behavior. Gladys approached and chided everyone. Thea is someone highly respected. Plenty of bigwigs are dying to meet her. Just you wait. A lot of influential figures will be arriving soon. Celestial Group, Longevity Pharmaceuticals, and other major company bosses will be here. Mom, shut up, David pulled Gladys aside and whispered. Everyone knows that the Black Dragon was behind Thea's success. After he resigned, he's now no longer part of the 5 commanders. Rumors say that he was demoted or had pressure from his higher-ups. The Black Dragon has fallen. Gladys lost her confidence. Lex looked over at Thea, nodded, and walked toward the front seats with his cane. He came to verify the situation with his own eyes. Rumors were circulating that Black Dragon had fallen and could not even protect himself right now. Were people no longer going to respect Thea anymore? He might as well toss in his coin worth. One of the factions now. Choosing the wrong people would be absolutely fatal for Eternality. Trevor's family also had a bad relationship with Lex. There was not much to say since they never interacted in the past 20 years. Time seemed to pass by agonizingly slow, minute by minute. Soon, a lavish Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost approached. A charming man dressed in a white suit got out of the car. Ads by Pub Future. Behind him was another car. An older man with a beautiful woman emerged from the car that arrived shortly after. The young man was James wearing his human mask. The older man was Newton. The woman was Serena. Thea immediately stood up and rushed to greet James upon seeing him. She could barely hide the look of joy on her face as she approached him. She blushed and chattered excitedly, Mr. Caden, I am glad you could make it. James frowned when he noticed that the venue was empty. He asked, what's going on? Why is the place so empty? Don't worry about it, Thea blurted awkwardly. Suddenly, more vehicles began approaching from the distance. There were more than 30 cars, each of which were worth several million. Seeing this, the Clahans' expressions changed. They had thought no one was willing to entertain Thea after what had happened. They did not expect so many people to show up. Gladys stuck her chest out with pride. See, these are all the connections my daughter has in her pocket. Although the Black Dragon is no longer one of the 5 commanders, he is still leagues above ordinary people. The Callahans went silent, and no one uttered another word. Soon, the vehicle stopped outside the Century Group's headquarters. Several people got out of the car. Seeing these people, James pressed his lips unhappily. Mr. Caden, these people are from the Oceanic Commerce, Newton whispered. The Oceanic Commerce. When did the Oceanic Commerce have roots in Kensington? James asked dubiously. They're newly established. The Oceanic Commerce was established by the Xaviers, the Wilsons, the Frasers, and the Zimmermans. The rumors say they were established to go against Your Majestic Corporation. Oh, James narrowed his eyes. The Great Four moved fast after he had resigned. A group of people got out of the car. The person in the lead was a man in his 30s dressed in a black suit and neat hair. Who's in charge here? He came forward and shouted brashly. I am the chairman of Century Group. Thea promptly walked over nervously. Century Group. The man glanced at Thea and said with a smile, I'm from the Oceanic Commerce. This whole land and the factory over there is under our jurisdiction. Here is our land deed for your kind perusal. Have a look, and if you don't have any questions, we'd like you move out effective today. Thea's expression changed. Looks like someone has no intention of playing nicely. James sat down, a sardonic smile. The Great Four had established the Oceanic Commerce. The purpose of their commerce was to oppose James' Majestic Corporation. Everyone knew James of the Majestic Group had a close relationship with Thea. Thus, Oceanic Commerce had deliberately come to cause trouble during the establishment ceremony of Thea's Century Group. They deliberately came to warn James. The Pacific Group's factory and headquarters were on rented property. Thea stood up and refuted, our rental contract is still valid for 3 more years. Even if you have the land deed and are the current owner of this area, you still have no right to ask me to leave. Is that so? The middle-aged man smiled menacingly. By the way, I haven't introduced myself. I'm Wade Xavier, the Vice President of Oceanic Commerce. I'm here on behalf of the Commerce to inform you that the land now belongs to us. Thus, your previous contract is now null and void. Wade glared at James, who was nearby as he spoke. He personally witnessed the tragic death of his other family members at the hand of James at the Cadence family cemetery. He strode up to James. Are you really that scared of showing your face to others, James? Wade glared at James. Ads by Pub Future. My grandfather, granduncles, father, uncles, and aunties all died in your hands. I swore on their graves that I'd avenge them and tear you into pieces. I'm here today to teach you a lesson, and I hope you're prepared for what we have in store for you today. James looked at Wade and smiled threateningly. Wade immediately stopped bantering with James. He turned to glare at Thea, Trevor, and the rest. Today is your deadline. Tomorrow morning, this place will be razed to the ground. It'll be in your best interest to move out today if you want to avoid the heavy losses, he said as if stating an inconsequential fact. Wade turned around and departed as his threat loomed above them. The rest of the Oceanic Commerce members promptly left along with him. Thea's expression gradually darkened. The Callahans remained silent and no one else dared to say anything. What should we do, Mr. Caden? Newton inquired softly. What else can we do? Don't worry about it for now. This is just the beginning. As you said, the Oceanic Commerce is only one of my many enemies. The major families in the capital, 5 Provinces Business Alliance, and Infinite Commerce are all going to take action soon. Kensington is about to be given a run for its money. It's best we stay put for now. He was no longer the Black Dragon and did not have special privileges anymore. At best, he was the chairman of the Majestic Corporation now. Very few knew that he was the man behind the transgenerational group. The incident with Thea right now was just a drop in the ocean. He had more important things to worry about. At this moment, Lex stood up and came to Thea. Thea, James isn't going to be able to protect himself now. You should distance yourself from him as soon as possible. He is no longer the Black Dragon, so his name carries no weight with those in power now. The Blythe King isn't going to bother himself with a mere businessman. Relying on the Majestic Corporation isn't enough to go against the Oceanic Commerce. After saying his piece, Lex turned around and left. It was not hard to guess what many key figures were thinking right now with their lack of attendance. None of them were on James' side anymore. The Oceanic Commerce was about to stir up some sh*t. This was the beginning of a disaster for both Century Group and Majestic Corporation. Lex led the Callahans away. Thea felt helpless. She glanced at James, who was sitting nearby. Gathering her courage, she approached him and asked quietly, Mr. Caden, what should I do now? The Oceanic Commerce is here for me. They have many ways they could easily interfere with Century Group right now. Although you have the lease contract, it's useless now. It'd be best to comply with them and leave with all your valuable machinery by the end of the day. You want to minimize the losses, James replied matter-of-factly. Then, he stood up. I've made countless enemies. Oceanic Commerce established by the Great Four, Unfinity Commerce, and the Five Provinces Business Commerce, were all people I offended when I was still the Black Dragon. Now that I've resigned, they're going to take the opportunity to mess with me. You should distance yourself from me. James stoically turned to leave. Newton and Serena followed closely behind him.